Hello everybody and welcome to another one of our leadership training videos. Now in these leadership training videos, hopefully by now you are familiar with some of them. You know that I share with you ideas and thoughts around what it takes to be an effective leader, what the requirements are for leadership, what are some of the leadership traits, the leadership skills, and the leadership qualities that you might need. And wherever you are in that journey, because some of you may be followers, as you've mentioned to me in the past, as opposed to leaders. But one day you may become leaders anyway, and I hope whatever your expectation is, that you will understand more about just leading yourself if that's what you need to do. So leadership can be corporate, as it can be entrepreneurial, as it can be just in terms of your life. Now my name is Chris Igwe. I have over 35 years experience leading, training and developing teams across different markets, 5 in particular, but more importantly Europe, Middle East and Africa. Now I encourage you to comment, like, share. If any of this resonates or if any of this inspires some thoughts, then please feel free to let me know. The topic we're going to talk about today is one which I think gets very often forgotten or put aside. But from a leadership point of view, it is so important. And that topic is creating, as a leader, a sense of urgency. As a leader, you are required and expected to engage with others with a sense of urgency. And here are the reasons why. There are many others you can add. If you have your own, please feel free to share them with me. Because when you have a sense of urgency, then you've got to be very clear. You've got to be decisive. You've got to be intentional. And I'll explain a bit more in a minute. And it's got to be timely. And let me give you a very quick and simple example. I run my own business. I've done for quite a few years now, but I've also been in corporate environments at the very top, managing director, head of different departments across Europe, leading teams. If you don't have a sense of urgency, in other words, for example, to close a deal, you could lose that. That deal could be gone. So you have to put in place mentally the idea that you're going in a particular direction. We have a timeline of when you want that relationship, engagement, deal, contract to be closed. And then you fill in these pieces. Be clear about what you want. Be decisive when a decision needs to be made. And be intentional. What does intentional mean? Well, the first is, you could simply put, it's about focus. It's the fact that this is the outcome or the result I absolutely want to have. Nothing else is going to detract me from that. That is the intention. That is the plan. That is specifically what my mind wishes to know and engage with at a certain date or a certain time. So you want something that is not only compiling the clarity, the decisiveness, the content perhaps, and you want it in a timely way, but you want it also to be very specific in terms of the criteria that you have set. Now, if you can do that and create this sense of urgency in yourself, you have to create it in your team, in the company, or the people that you are dealing with. Time and time again, as a service provider, the number of times I've been asked to be involved in something. It might be a bid, it might be a pitch, it might be just a one-on-one, so they absolutely want to work with me and my company. But none of this ever comes through. None of this comes through from the other party, no matter how many times you ask the question about how we can move that forward. So here are some of the areas in which that sense of urgency from you needs to be demonstrated with clarity. It could be in your hiring process. I have been in companies that take forever to hire, and you end up losing the person you really wanted. He or she has gone somewhere else. There hasn't been a sense of urgency in the organization, and you have perhaps not been able to push it forward because it's corporate, it's structured. sourcing materials, products, or it could be in terms of services, finding a new service provider. In my case, being a new service provider to a future client. It could equally be that you want to put in place a new strategy for your business, for your team. You can't be sitting on the strategy for months on end. There's a point at which that strategy has to be implemented and executed in order that you start to see the returns on that strategy you've put in place. Equally, it could be, beyond the strategy, a key decision that you need to make. It could be a key decision about staffing. It could be around your budget, around the future of your business or your activity. Whatever it happens to be, these are the areas where, and many others, but these are the big ones, where you have to show and exercise some sort of a sense of urgency. Because the consequences of not exercising that sense of urgency are the following. One of the most important ones, in my opinion, is frustration. The frustration that you get, the frustration perhaps that your team or the department or the company gets. You've made a bid, a proposal. The other party, you can't get them to get to a point where they'll say, yeah, we like what you're talking about, come in and talk to us a bit further. But you can drive that conversation as far as you can. But in the same way, imagine it the other way around, which is what I'm trying to do here, is to say, this may be you facing out, but it could be you as the one who is going to engage another party. Imagine how they feel if you haven't shown a sense of urgency around a particular decision, a strategy, or a sourcing. It leads to delays, as I said earlier on. So there will be delays to the implementation once you finally decide. Maybe it's a seasonal thing as well. So if you miss that season for the product, then you're going to have to wait maybe 6 months or a year or something. As a leader, very important, you will lose respect. If you are the one who is supposed to drive a process and you haven't demonstrated a sense of urgency, not only will it go into frustration, but it'll end up being you losing respect, which is always a very dangerous thing for us as a leader. You might lose the opportunity, which I've spoken about. And then finally, it could be that you show weakness. So with weakness and a loss of respect, that could be devastating for you. And it could be that if it continues to happen, so let's say you're the one who is due to engage a future service, a future contract, a future supplier, and word gets out that, oh yeah, he makes requests for this bid and that project and whatever, but it never comes to fruition. Or yes, it could be, yeah, they're looking to hire people, but they've missed 2, 3, 4 people who would have been perfect for that particular role and position. You're impacting the image that you have as an individual and as a company as well. So I would strongly encourage you to consider a sense of urgency in all that you do. Put in a timeline, put in clarity, make sure you make a decision, even if it's a negative one, saying no to that company who bid, but don't make them wait 4 months. Don't make the process a 4-month process. Get it down to 4 weeks if you can. You've got to keep that momentum going. Momentum shows that you are a decision maker. You are somebody wants to work with, someone wants to be with, someone wants to be led by you and grown by you. So create that sense of urgency. It's very important, and I see it more and more lacking today, more than ever before. So seize that opportunity and make it your own. I hope this has given you some thoughts and clarity and some ideas, in fact, to share with others and of course with me. So if you wish to, you can feel free to like, comment or share and subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are available. So until we speak again, thank you.